Hey guys, Wadsm here. The Splatoon 3 Direct is here and with it an insane amount of new footage. Something that caught my eye was some brief Rainmaker footage that showcased a big Rainmaker rework, adding checkpoints to the game mode. Since there was no explanation on exactly what's happening here in one of the main game modes of the game, I dug into the footage to figure out everything about the Rainmaker rework and how it works. We could actually only see Rainmaker at 3 separate occasions in the Direct. So that's all the footage that we can go off. First 2 clips that actually take place right after each other in the rank mode section and one longer one in the updates section. Before we get to the elephant in the room, the checkpoint rework, let's cover the basics of the mode first again. Once again, it's your goal to take the Rainmaker to the goal. The closer you get, the more points you gain. Once picked up, the Rainmaker becomes your main weapon and it functions exactly like in Splatoon 2. You fire a big blast that explodes on impact. And not like in Splatoon 1, a big wave of ink. Once someone dies with the Rainmaker, it's protected by a barrier again, that you need to shoot to open. Once opened, it makes a huge splash, that one-shots any enemy nearby. One major change is already visible though. That is how supportive specials interact with the Rainmaker. In Splatoon 1, the bubbler could not be given to the Rainmaker, and in Splatoon 2, armor also didn't apply itself to the Rainmaker user. Here in this clip though, it receives the speed boost up from the Tacticooler, which is a game changer, since it grants the Rainmaker some much needed mobility. We don't know yet if the Rainmaker can enter a big bubbler, but I can see it being likely. Also, I'm pretty sure the Ink Vug will be able to suck up any incoming damage towards the Rainmaker, so the Rainmaker can be protected way better than before. Another thing that got confirmed is that we can Squid Roll while carrying the Rainmaker. This gives even more mobility and thus evasiveness to dodge incoming danger. I assume since Squid Rolling is possible that a Squid Search is also doable while holding the Rainmaker. The biggest change, however, obviously is the checkpoint system, which we get a pretty good look at in the third clip. Rainmaker has always been the most fast-paced mode, and this will slow down the mode quite significantly if you ask me. At least in the early game, when neither team has yet unlocked the first checkpoint. Before, one team wipe could end a match on Rainmaker, making it the mode with the biggest comeback potential, since that's not possible on any other competitive mode. But this also made it the least balanced mode, since a significantly worse team could easily win with just one lucky punch in the beginning. This is not possible anymore. You need to get to one of the designated checkpoints first and slam dunk the Rainmaker on it. The dunking animation is straightforward and the same as before, which makes it very easy to shoot down, and the checkpoint only gets activated after a successful dunk. So going for the dunk is risky. Afterwards you drop the Rainmaker and the barrier goes up again, forcing you and your team to play around the area a bit longer before you can proceed, because you also have to pop the Rainmaker again. This needs to be repeated until the last goal. The goals actually bury themselves into the ground afterwards, until only a tiny portion of it is still visible. Small enough to not be able to give any cover anymore. Unfortunately, the footage only shows the UI on one of the clips. On the other we don't see any point meters. Here the game tells us to take the Rainmaker to the first checkpoint, and the UI clearly has only one checkpoint visible. Pretty straightforward, right? Not at all. It seems like on Undertow Spill where you have 2 first checkpoints to choose either one. As you can see later in the footage, the other one on the right that didn't get dunked on disappears, while a new one further back emerges. So first, maps can have various checkpoints you can choose from, plus only the podests that you can currently dunk a Rainmaker on are the ones that are active and visible. That brings a nice new dynamic to the mode, since the defending team has to watch 2 checkpoints at once. That also explains why we only see 1 checkpoint on Hammerhead Bridge. The others will only emerge after you dunked the first one. As you can see here, before they emerge they look exactly like a checkpoint that buried itself again after you cleared it. Also notice how on Hammer Bridge, the next podium that unlocks after the first checkpoint is already the final one. We don't know yet if there can be multiple checkpoints you need to clear before the end goal, since we don't have points visible on Undertow Spillway. But I think it's safe to assume that each map will at least have 1 checkpoint, since they seem to try to combat Rainmaker's quick insta-chaos after just 1 team fight in the beginning with these checkpoints. How do points work in this checkpoint rework though? In earlier games you would only earn points based on the distance to the end goal, like this. So there's a need to change that here with the rework. We only see the point meter in one of the clips. It's likely that instead of the distance between the Rainmaker spawn and the end goal, they now measure the distance to the checkpoints first instead. Here the first checkpoint takes you to 77 points. So I assume if you would pass it and go all the way towards the enemy spawn for example, you would not get any additional points. At all. You need to clear the checkpoint first. Once cleared, the points will most likely be measured from the old to the next checkpoint. Since as you can see here on Undertow Spillway, you need to push the Rainmaker sideways, which in older games never gave you any points, since you did not actively get closer to the Rainmaker goal there. Here I try to illustrate how I think the new measurement system works. The new checkpoint system completely changes up the pace of the mode. The last checkpoint will most likely be the regular goal again, which ends and KOs the game. So when all checkpoints for both teams are cleared, we will still have the swing heavy mode we fell in love with in the first two games, where one team wipe can cause an insanely quick comeback. But that's only possible in the late game of a match, since all checkpoints need to be cleared first. Also, I think that the first checkpoints will be easily conquerable, and you don't even need a team wipe for that first. Just pressure back your opponents a little bit and you will be able to clear it, since they're so close to the Rainmaker spawn. In my opinion, the rework is a brilliant change and almost eliminates all problems I had with the modes. So I'm glad they got inspired by the tower checkpoint rework they did in Splatoon 2. And that's all I could analyze from the footage we have. Do you guys think I'm right with all my observations? Also, how do you guys like the new Rainmaker rework? I will do more analysis videos on the Direct on various different topics that caught my eye. I also made a video about all the new info not shown in the Direct that were only on the website, so check it out if you don't wanna miss anything. Also, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more videos. With that being said, have a good one, see you around guys. Wadsm out.